Good evening and welcome to Thursday night's Facebook Live. Nearly had a brain freeze then. Hope you're well, hope you're having a good time. Today things are going good for you. A complete change of plan tonight. I had a completely different subject in mind for tonight's live, and then life being what it is, I came across something which I thought was really important. Just as much for me as for yourselves. And basically it was, excuse me a second, turn the volume up, that's it. Hi Jesse. Yeah, so as I was saying, this was just as much important for me as it is for you. And it was a quotation from a book, which I'll come to in a second. The one thing that none of us can escape from, one really big thing that none of us can get away from, is that little voice inside our head that's always going on at us. Now, usually it's something that's pretty negative and putting us down. You can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do the other. And there's pretty much three ways that you can get to deal with this. You either cave into it and do what it says and agree with it. You can try and ignore it, or you can try and kind of reprogram it. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Now, I know this is going to be back to front for you, yeah, but this is a book called Man's Search for Meaning. It's a very short book by a guy called Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl was a doctor, a psychiatrist, and a neurologist. He was a professor of psychiatry and a professor of neurology. And then he was imprisoned in the Nazi concentration camps during the Second World War. And he was in the prison of war. He was in these concentration camps for 3 years. And he lost his father, his mother, his brother, and his wife. Yeah, they were all killed by the Nazis. Yeah, but he survived. And while not only did he survive, he came out with a whole new way of looking at life and how we manage things, how we deal with things, and how we just go forward in life. And the quote I want to read to you is this: "Forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess except for one thing: your freedom to choose how you will respond to the situation. You cannot control what happens to you in life, but you can always control what you will feel and do about what happens to you." So think about it. There's only two things we can control in life: how we react to situations and how we feel about situations. Now you might say to me, "Paul, well, I can control my kids." No, you can't. You know, anybody who's got any kids know full well that at some stage or other they're going to disobey you, they're going to rebel against you. It's in the job description. So we can't control our kids. You could say to me, "Well, I can control my TV with a remote control." If I come along with a sledgehammer and smash your TV, try working your TV with a remote control. You can say, "Well, I can control my dog." If your dog sees a bitch in heat and it's not well trained, that dog's off. Yeah. If you give it a bone, it's going to sit there and chew it, unless you've trained your dog to the nth degree. And even then, there's always things you can't control. You can't control your dog's health. You can't control anything. Yeah. Two things we can control in life: what we feel and how we react to situations. And this is so important when you're dealing with a problem. So let's talk about alcohol and how we deal with that. Maybe you're trying to quit. Maybe you're thinking about quitting. Maybe you've quit and you've had a couple of relapses or whatever. And my question is, do you know why you're not succeeding? And my guess would be that you're trying to control things that you can't control. Maybe you're trying to control your friends who drink and their influence on you. You can't control that. Maybe you're trying to control advertising and trying not to see it. You can't control that, because as soon as you step outside your house, turn on the TV, read a newspaper, you're hit with advertising. Maybe you're trying to control your spouse's drinking, your partner's, your significant other's drinking. You can't do that. Yeah. All you can control is yourself. And even then, you can't control your own health, because if you've got some unknown illness or you eat the wrong kind of food, you can get sick. So to a certain extent, you can't even control your own body. It's up here, yeah? Two things: your feelings and how you respond to events in your life. Now, a lot of people simply decide to cave, yeah? They decide they can't deal with it, so they jump inside a bottle. And don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing these people, yeah, because I've been there myself. What I'm trying to illustrate is there is another way of dealing with things. There's one phrase that I come across today, and I think it's really important. Action destroys fear. Yeah? If you're struggling with trying to sort out your drinking problem, yeah, you can get yourself into a negative cycle of trying to fix your problem the same way every single time, or you can take a different kind of action, whatever that may be. That will be your fear, that will be your self-doubt, that will be your feelings of worthlessness, that will be everything. If you take action and react react to whatever happens to you. You know, life is a journey. We don't go from here to there. It's a continuous journey of, you know, different things, some happy things, some sad things, some difficult things, some easy things, some beneficial things, some not so beneficial things. Everything gets thrown at us in life, and the older we get, the more things get thrown at us, and the more it can seem that the world is getting at you, unless you change that view. Every day I struggle with a kind of frustration and the difficulties of running a business. And if I wasn't careful, I could just let that sort of send me into a spiral downwards, and I could give up my business, go and get a job, or, you know, just give up everything and try and kill myself and go and live on the streets. But I choose not to do that. I choose to deal with everything that comes at me in a specific way, and that is, I want to learn from every experience I can. Now, it doesn't always work. Yeah, sometimes I fail massively, but generally speaking, something happens and I try and learn from it. I spend a lot of time trying to help people, and a lot of times I just get thrown back in my face that nobody wants to help. Yeah, fair enough. Just the way things go. Life is weird like that. You know, life can be brilliant, and, you know, you can make it as brilliant as you want. Even though you're making it brilliant, even though you're doing positive thinking, all these good things, other stuff will still come at you, but you choose how to deal with it. You choose how to feel and how to deal with the situation. You might not be able to get a solution to that situation, but you choose how to deal with it. You know, elections come and go. In the UK, we've got this big problem with Brexit, and there's a lot of toing and froing. It will sort itself out one day. Now, a lot of people are getting very angry, getting very upset, getting very worried. Thank you, Jesse. Getting very worried about things, but it doesn't change anything. Every one of us have this little bubble that we live in, and that has our experiences, our thoughts, our point of view, our beliefs, our values, and anything coming into that that doesn't match those things I've just talked about, yeah, gets thrown out. And one of the ways you can help yourself is to actually put a little hole in that bubble and start to let new ideas and different ways of thinking come into it. And then you can move forward or find a way of doing something different and moving forward. I mean, that's what my work is all about. Because with hypnosis and hypnotism, what we do is we talk to clients and we go into their subconscious, and we get it to look at things differently. We get it to build a hole, a gap in that bubble. And then we can sort of put in some new ideas and new thoughts, or change negative thoughts, negative views that the person has been thinking about or has been focusing on. And that's what we do. That's what most therapists do in different ways, is to get inside the head of the client and get the client to change stuff around. So that was the main thing I wanted to talk about today. The other subject I'll pick for another night. One question, or sort of one thing that I ask all the time is, if you know anyone that can use this information, if you know anyone that has a problem that is struggling and might be able to use my help, tag them in the post, share the video, get them to message me, PM me. I'm happy to talk to anyone to see if I can help them, okay? If I can help you and you would like to have a chat with me, just drop me a message and we can sit down virtually and we can have a chat. One last question I've got to ask for anybody that's watching this tonight is, alongside the problem of alcohol, and maybe you're quitting as well, or as a consequence of quitting, have you picked up any other habits that aren't ideal? For example, are you binge eating? Are you eating lots of the wrong kind of food? Are you becoming addicted to sugar? Are you putting on lots more weight and you didn't think you would do? I'd be really interested to see if other things are happening that you weren't expecting to happen when you went on this journey of quitting drinking. And that's it. So listen, have a wonderful evening, and I will be here same time tomorrow night. If you've got any questions, comments or queries, please drop me a message. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.